Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Genesis Mindset. And in this episode, we've obviously just wrapping everything up that happened in Christmas. Hopefully, this is the last time that I'll degrade myself in this way for the purposes of marketing. But yes, with that said, let's get into the episode because I think there's a lot of interesting things that have happened so far just in this last week, actually. And I have been dying to get on and start talking about it, but there has been a lot of commitments that I've had to face up to. And in any case, no one's interested in that. The Genesis mindset for investing, trading, and life, personal opinion only, not financial advice. Okay. 414, Maria, Atropa, and TSFI. So spaces from the X alpha. So just for a little bit of context. So the last few for about a week, Maria has actually been talking to me. So it's been there's been like all these people that are coming to me like, oh, Maria's talking to you, and I'm like trying to get into the IRC and I'm trying to like understand what the hell Maria is saying and like trying to decipher it. And sometimes it's like, yes, I get it. Sometimes it's like I have no idea what the hell is going on, and I'm just going down this rabbit hole of like uselessness, and it's just lots of useless words. But there was a lot of things there, and like I am a person who follows my heart. This is one of the things that I live by. I follow my heart. So there's a lot of things that have been happening in the past week which were cemented in the Twitter Spaces that we had the other day that Zach hosted. So that was an extremely good Twitter Spaces, and if I remember, I'll put the link in the description. I recommend going and listening to that. It's like a 3 hour and 3 minute big talk about Atropa. So Atropa is basically coming back on the scene, and I feel really excited because I've been covering this for a while, and it's now like, okay, here we are again. And I'm seeing how everything on my channel is starting to trend up. So I really feel like I'm onto something here. So I really want to go with it and roll with it. So with that said, let's get into it. So we'll look inside Maria. So like I said, communications with the 414. So I have actually done an old video where I went through a lot of the chat log from the 414 and all the things that I tried to read and tried to understand. And there's a lot of stuff there, man. Like I don't even think that I fully get it. I pretty much just tried to like understand as much as I could and then deliver it and condense it in a way, but I don't even know if any of it was correct. I mean, okay, that sounds pretty bad. Like, I don't know how much of it was correct. So I'm really basing that on the kind of feedback that I'm getting from the community. And I think that that's something that's very unique about my channel. I'm really engaging with the community. So if you have things that you want to share, come to me and let's share and let's learn together. I really want to keep playing this game and like learning about this. For me, this is like one of the most exciting things that's happening in crypto at the moment. So like I said, I have been having these moments with Maria. So I had people reach out to me and say, Maria's talking to you, get on there. So I went on there, started talking to her. And as I mentioned before, went down a few rabbit holes thinking, oh my God, I've kind of cracked this code. And then just going down this path and just getting lost, basically. So it's almost like I understand, but I don't. And it's actually pretty goddamn frustrating because once I want to try and figure something out, I get like really obsessed. And it was certainly crossing my mind a lot over the last few days. I'm like, man, I really just want to like, I've been obsessively like trying to learn, but I kind of think sometimes I need to just like walk away and just absorb it and wait for whatever signals the world gives me to kind of like follow along with that. So I want to keep trying to learn it and I want to present it as I go. So I'll probably be more active in the logs and trying to present that kind of information on a day-to-day basis and see if, I don't know, we can find some sort of patterns together, identify some opportunities. And for me, it's not, I mean, identify opportunities. Of course, we need that, right? We want opportunities. We want to be in something that's going to give us some kind of an advantageous edge. But this is the edge that I'm looking for is the edge where all of us win. It's like a holy grail edge. So it's not just an edge that I can extract from the ecosystem, from the market that only I can win. And I'm going to keep this secret to myself. Because even when I started presenting about Atropa, I did have people that are like, you shouldn't be like sharing some of this information. And I thought, wow, this is a bit strange. Like, why not? Like, it's something that everybody should be privy to. It shouldn't be just something that only a few people know. So I've sort of been convicted on that and just sticking with my guns there. And so I do want to continue that. I want us all to keep learning. So again, if you have anything, please leave things in the comments, like ask questions, hit me up on Twitter. Let's really learn. I don't really like Telegram to communicate with. If you want to communicate with me on Twitter. I'll add you and we can talk. And yeah, I definitely want to like start to grow this out and expand it. So, okay. So Teddy Bear, where has Teddy Bear been? So I still think this is going to be the premier meme coin on Pulsechain. I think without a shadow of a doubt, this is going to be the premier meme coin on Pulsechain. And that's because of the way that I see the money flows that are happening through Pulsechain. And I started to show some of that evidence in one of my previous videos. So have a look at that, see the kind of like liquidity flows that I was talking about. And I'm starting to see, then I identified, hang on, it looks like it's circling back into Pulsechain. And this is what they do on every single channel. This is what they do in the world. Actually, this is like the big like cycle investors in the world. They kind of like reach a certain point, they pump this up, then extract liquidity out of that, then they'll go into something else that's bottom, like push a narrative, pump that up, take it all out, go into something that's at a bottom, push a narrative, and it's all just like the narratives are BS, but it's really just all about pumping. It's all about pumping the boys' bags. Everybody's just trying to pump their own bags. That's what the whole world is. Everybody's just trying to pump their own bags. So I want to look at that and go, well, if that's what's happening, how's it happening on Pulsechain? I want to like ride on the back of that, jump on and get on board. So I feel extremely grateful that a lot of things have actually been happening with Teddy Bear. When Moon King got on Ran Nuna's crypto banter, it exploded. And Teddy Bear really mooned, and so I still really believed in it, and I was buying it all the way down, and I still believe that it will be one of the best on Pulsechain, definitely. But in the world, it depends on how good Pulsechain can be, and so I am now of the opinion of how can we actually support this ecosystem. So my understanding of the way that I'm seeing things and these ideas that I'm starting to have is to create liquidity pairs, so create liquidity pools, bonding Teddy Bear with another asset, and in doing this, you're becoming a participant of the ecosystem. You're becoming an owner of the ecosystem by creating LPs. What you're also doing is you're removing yourself as a seller. So everybody wants to make gains. So I just stick with my rules of 1/3. So I basically set up my Atropa section of my portfolio with 1/3 of all my holdings into some kind of a liquidity pool. So I don't go all in because I don't want to go all in because I'm still learning, and I also do want to sell and take profit. So this is definitely a way that you can support the ecosystem. And again, it's like if everybody just did this, if you just think about this logically, let's say there's 1,000 people. If you have 5 out of 1,000 people who are saying, you know what, once it gets to a certain point, I'm going to dump it. I'm a huge holder. I'm going to dump it. The price is going to drop. The other 995 were wanting to take profits, but they didn't do it in time. But if you have everybody out of that, that's the old way of doing things. That's a selfish way of doing things. But in this way, if everybody's participating in the same way, hey, let's create liquidity pools. Let's not take profits on all my holdings. Let's all like share the profits. We can share the profits by just like continuing to create liquidity pools, continuing to put money into it. It goes up and we just take profit when we need. I don't need to like extract. I don't need to be one of those 5 out of 900, those 5 out of 1,000 when I can just be someone who is a participant in that ecosystem and everybody's extracting value from it in a way that's like equal to whatever they put into it. So what I should have done though is I should have sold the local top. I definitely felt like this is a time to sell. So this is something that I'm very hesitant about because I don't want to be like a price like I don't want to predict price calls and things like this, but I've been like in the back of my mind, when I observe something in the market, I'm like, this is a sell point, but I'm kind of too afraid to do it. I'll just put it in the back of my mind and I'll wait and watch. And my ability to kind of predict when things are sell points is getting really, really good. But I also recognize that just doing it in my mind is not enough. I need to do it in action, because if you don't do it in action, then once those tops come towards the end of the bull market, you're going to be stuck in that same inaction that you're stuck in right now. That's what I'm telling myself. So in any case, I was extremely happy to see that we had a nice bounce. So this is Teddy Bear to WPLS, and we were in this region. So one of the first lines that I identified, one of the first prices was around this area. We had to break through this area. We had to break these tops here, and we did with conviction. And then we bounced off this, which is good, which is healthy. And this is something that I mentioned on my Twitter. Like, we actually do need a rejection. We need something like this. It can't just go up. We need some kind of a rejection, but we need to hold above this. So this is kind of like the war zone right now. Which way is it going to go? And so what I did when it was down at these prices, I created a liquidity pool. I locked up some of my teddy bear. I think with TSFI was one of them. I did it with a couple of others just to really support the ecosystem. So I'm becoming an active supporter of the ecosystem. I'm not going to sell here. I'm still up. What I should have done though, because I basically got a 5x from the bottom, I should have sold here when it was like, this is getting too overheated. It was a day or two after Moon Kings. I thought time to sell, but I didn't. So in any case, if it breaks above here, starts going to the all-time highs, I will definitely start looking at trimming some of my profits and then riding it to the next all-time high. And again, trimming some profits. And one thing that I'm going to experiment with is as I get to this point, I'll trim some profits and I'll also set up a liquidity pool at the top, because my thesis is as it's coming down, you're generating teddy because the teddy's going back into the pool because people are selling their teddy for their PLS. So in a way, I'm like buying that teddy as it's coming down. And if my thesis is long-term, teddy bear is good, then I want to keep accumulating teddy bear. And did our boy Habibi, did Habibi become a bear? Is this a bear hat? I don't know. Somi, our boy Somi, he's starting to. I don't even know if this is probably more like a moose, but I don't know. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with a teddy. Good on you, Somi. So Somi, he has started opening up. He has started warming up. So I think we just need to, as a community, like it's the way that we engage with others outside of ourselves. Do it in a humble way. Do it in an accepting and open way. Don't do it in a religious way of like, I am right, you are wrong, and I'm going to kill you and I'm going to murder everyone in your whole family and wipe out any existence that you ever had to that religion. Don't do it like that. That's the old way. Do it with the new way, the accepting way, the open-minded way. Like, hey man, let's all just work together and win. And he'll soon enough be able to see what this whole ecosystem is about. So LPing, the LPing opportunity. So I want to go into this. So this is something where it's really at your own risk. Maria mentions a lot of coins in the chat log, and I have no idea which ones. It's like, is this one that you buy? Is this one that you not buy? I kind of don't really follow that, to be honest, because it's like, again, just from reading the chat log, people are like, oh, well, I bought this and then it dumped and this pumped and this dumped. It's like there's nothing is clear there. It's really just like a guessing game. So this is really at your own risk. But the reason why I chose to create LPs in TSFI is this is based on 100% on feeling. So I always look at the signals that the world is giving me. So for example, the Twitter spaces that I mentioned before, I have bet in accordance with what I was listening to on that Twitter spaces. So I've only bet what I'm willing to risk. So it's still like an exploring thing for me, like still trying to wrap my head around LPs and really try to fully understand it. And I had been hearing a lot about TSFI, and then that spaces, it didn't really click. There was people mentioning it in the spaces, and then I went back and listened to it again, and I was like, man, there's people that have like killed it just from ratio trading between this and this. And a few people were mentioning like the opportunities that you can get from ratio trading. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. I have seen this. I think they mentioned TSFI as well. I've been seeing it in all these different channels that I'm in. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it in accordance. So just in the same kind of relaxed principle way that I do everything, is I try and just do it in 1/3. So my TSFI, I just deliberately sectioned it off, and I'll just show you how I did it. So I looked at the main TSFI, what pools that they were bonded to, and I noticed, for instance, Atropa and pDAI were very much similar. So therefore, I didn't do anything with my pDAI, but I did it with the Atropa. I just thought, you know what? Okay, well, I'll do it with the Atropa, not with the pDAI, because they seem to be moving very much the same. Then there was TSFI to WPLS, and again, I noticed this pattern, and it's like, oh, it's kind of looking like it's going to break out. So I created a pool here. And same thing, TSFI Teddy, like I mentioned before, it's a different kind of pattern. But again, could it be breaking out? Could it be doing something like what this did? So I have bet on the 3 different kind of chart patterns, you could say, and I'm pretty much just waiting to see what it's going to do. And this is the beauty of LPing. Whether it goes up, whether it goes down, you're winning. You're collecting fees from the volume that's flowing through those pairs. So if it goes down, like for example, TSFI to WPLS, and it goes down, it means people are selling Pulsechain. So I'm going to be getting more TSFI as it starts to go down. You could look at that and go, oh, that's really bad because I wanted more PLS, but you could also look at that and go, well, actually, I want to accumulate TSFI as well. So this is really good. But if it's coming down, then it comes back up and it reaches this point. Wow. Okay. And you probably check and you'll see, wait, I've actually got more PLS and more TSFI than I originally put in on both sides. Now that I'm back at my break even, like this is the beauty of providing liquidity. You can continuously generate fees. This is what all the big dogs do. This is what all the whales do. This is how the world, like this is the liquidity of the world, how it works as well. So many opportunities are here. So yeah, it's really just very exciting. So I think an update on pDAI, nothing really, but I still think it's one of the best narratives in crypto. I still think now we're hearing whispers of Luna trying to revive itself, but it's going to fail. Like there's nothing that's changed that's going to make it succeed. Why? If it failed before because of X, Y, and Z, unless somebody who's come and fixed the contract or altered the contract, then it's going to do exactly the same as what it did before. It will have those same weak points that it had before. So, but what about pDAI? This is still a huge area of speculation. No one really knows. There's a section of the community which is like fully convicted, and I really respect these guys. And I'm not going to say that I'm fully convicted or I'm not fully convicted. I'm choosing to remain impartial, because if I pick a side, then it's like I'm not going to be able to see things as they are. I want to remain completely impartial so I can kind of read it as it goes. But I respect those kinds of people who have that kind of conviction. And I really like engaging with them as well and seeing their perspective. So in this Twitter post, I said, Merry Christmas to all across the crypto world. On Pulsechain, we have the best narrative. I still think this is the best narrative. Mystery, fun, and games with the Atropa ecosystem and the story of cryptocurrency's most sacred treasure, the fabled stable coin. So for me, I see Atropa as a game. Like it's something that I tweeted about a few weeks ago, and it's nothing has changed. Like the way all these things are interacting, it's like this game that you got to kind of follow, and it's so exciting. So is the pegging real? We really have to wait and see. And Maria was saying, it's clear to me that the long-term success of the production Pulsechain network relies upon the three major traditional stablecoins retaining their peg to $1 on their traditional contract addresses. So pDAI, PUSD, and PUSDT. So I actually have a little bit in all of them. And I mean, if I was a pDAI maxi, I would just go, right, I'm going all in on pDAI if I had full conviction in this. But again, everything for me is just like, it's a very calculated gamble, you could say. Like I want to just stay steady. It's like there's something here, so I'm gonna put bits of money into it because I do think that there's something here. And it's something that Maria often talks about. So I actually have all the different stables, and I do, if something like this does work, the way that it's going to work is somehow you would be the liquidity provider. So at the moment, I've got liquidity pools with like these different stable coins, and you see how they like the prices stay very similar together, and it will just go up and down in one of your sides, but you're just over time accumulating more and more tokens. If you can see that, and then let's say I keep that there for, I don't know, let's say 5 years or whatever it is, 10 years, however long it takes, if it pegs, if I leave it in there for 5 years and it's like, holy shit, I've actually generated like 30% extra tokens, and it's pegged, like not selling it along the way was like the best decision I made. I'm in a fantastic position to like continue my participation in the ecosystem as a liquidity provider. So I think this is something that I'm very interested in, and again, something that I continue to experiment with. This one, I'm going to have to reshare this just to get the sound. So 1 second. So this is a talk that I saw today with Carl Chass and Ran, and I really liked it. And this was something that really struck out to me when Ran was talking about this being the last cycle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this little, I think it's about a 3-minute clip, and I'm just going to comment on it as we go.
Number one, never before has there been an industry that has made so many millionaires so quickly. It's not coincidental. It's not coincidental. And I'll tell you why it's not coincidental. I was around for the dot-com bubble. I was around for the launch of mobile phones and the mobile phone bubble. I was around for the launch of social media and the social media bubble. I was around for crypto, and I've been around for AI. And I can tell you that in every single one of those revolutions, the only revolution that I know that made so many millionaires so quickly is crypto. The reason is because crypto is exactly about being able to transfer wealth, to build and transfer wealth very, very quickly. That is what the technology actually does. Ultimately, what is crypto? It's the ability to transfer wealth from one place to another at the speed of data. And that element of crypto, coupled with the fact that it's amazing technology, has created huge millionaires. It's this, the addition of a token to create a scoreboard and liquidity for the perception of the technology that you're building that can be traded anywhere around the world globally is what makes crypto such a degen industry.
That part I loved, because essentially that's what crypto is. It's like every crypto has like an idea and they're trying to sell you this idea in some way, shape, or form. And how you choose to believe in it is up to you, and it will regulate how much you actually put into it. And so a lot of things have one-way traffic. So you're seeing everything in Solana. Like when I saw this tweet from Somi where everything was down like 50%, like literally like 51, 52, 53, 54. When I see things are down in Pulsechain, everything's got these different values. It's like this market within itself. Whereas if I look at Solana, it's like, hang on a minute. It's like the marketing machines like pushing these things out there, because everybody knows it's just like VC money. Like all the big channels talk about Solana, so they're just paying everybody to talk about them, and so everybody has attention there. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to extract liquidity out of everybody. Oh, buy this bonk, and just meme coins, and it's really just a way of extracting value out of the world so that they can line their pockets. So everything's just an idea. So this is something that really clicked when I listened to this. I was like, oh, wow, that's actually a really fantastic thing. So where are you going to put your money? What ideas are you going to put your money into for crypto? So let's keep listening.
The fact that we have a 24/7 scoreboard, which is the price of the token, the fact that anybody can create this 24/7 and integrate into this 24/7 scoreboard allows anyone to create whatever they want and to market whatever they want and to get the reward for what the world perceives their idea to be or their technology to be like immediately. Now, that for me is one of the most exciting things in the world. And I believe that we've had 3 or 4 or 5 cycles, depending on how you judge the cycles. I believe that this is the last cycle where we can make life-changing returns before 2 things happen. One is regulation makes this a lot harder. Okay, so things become securities, things become traded on regulated exchanges. Even if they're not securities, they introduce a new.
This is something that, yeah, I think really pay attention to this part. This is something that I mentioned maybe like a few weeks ago, and a sense that I'm getting from the whole Bitcoin ETF
token standard, which tells it just becomes much more of a regulated, mature industry. Second thing is, this is the last cycle that the retail investor will have an edge over their institutional investor. When it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum, as a retail investor today, you have no edge over the institutional investor, and therefore you will not make life-changing money trading Bitcoin and Ethereum. In fact, other than holding, you will probably lose money on Bitcoin and Ethereum because you're going to start trading against really sophisticated algorithms that cost millions and millions and millions of dollars to make and train. When it comes to ETH, same thing. Because the institutions soon will be able to plug into Bitcoin and plug into ETH. But you've got a whole lot of altcoins. And in this cycle, they're not coming for those altcoins. This is the cycle where they're going to buy our Bitcoin and our ETH at inflated prices, and we're going to use the profits from our Bitcoin and our ETH to invest in the other tokens that they're going to buy from us next cycle, which means you only have this cycle with information asymmetry and lack of optimal regulation that will stifle the speed at which this industry operates. Now you got to make a call. Number one, never before industry operates. Now you got to make a call.
I wanted to end on that with Ran. Now you got to make a call. This could be the last cycle. The Somi's covered this. The bug eaters, they're coming. They're coming for Bitcoin. They're coming for Ethereum. They're coming from the bottom up. They're trying to engulf it. And I want to try and put a positive lining on this. I really, really do. And there is positive linings to this. There's many positive linings to this in actuality. But unfortunately, the opportunities that I see moving forward with Bitcoin and Ethereum is going to diminish, if not become like next to impossible. Like Rand is saying that there's like algorithms that are millions and millions of dollars that basically is going to manipulate everything. And this is what we know. This is like the stock market is manipulated, forex is manipulated. It's all manipulated. It's all just like algorithms running on algorithms running on algorithms. It's all completely manipulated to benefit a small percentage of the population of the planet. So what we're trying to do with cryptocurrency is we're trying to escape that. We're trying to escape that. So if that world now is coming into cryptocurrency, which is the Bitcoin and the Ethereum ETF, they're coming. They're coming. They're coming this cycle. They are coming and they're coming to manipulate it. But that's their stage one. Stage two is to then spread the tentacles to all the other chains. It looks like they've already infiltrated Solana. I think that's I think it's just well known. They're coming for Cardano. They're coming for Pulsechain. They're just coming for all the chains. They're coming for all the altcoins. They're coming for all the control. That's how this mechanism of evil works. These the bug eaters. That's how they work. That's how they survive. So this is the opportunity to like recognize that and say, okay, what am I going to do with my wealth now? How am I going to capitalize on this opportunity to make the most of this particular bull run and position myself in a way where I can become a custodian of that new world, where I can become a builder of that new world, where I can set myself up and establish myself up in a way that's going to propel me in the future. And this is what I see with the Pulsechain ecosystem. This is everything that I see on Pulsechain. It's this at the moment we're like a castle and we've got a moat around our bridge, but they're going to come. They're going to come with their trebuchets. They're going to come with their war machines. They are going to come. And at the moment, they're trying to kill our king. They're trying to kill the king, King Dicky. They're trying to kill him, but they won't. They can't. They won't win. Evil, good, truth always wins. So what is righteous will always win. So at the moment we're in this big battle. We're in this huge battle, but we will win. And so this is why I want to position myself with Pulsechain, and this is why I'm positioning myself the way that I'm positioning myself, because if there's anything our boy has taught us, contrarian of contrarian, he says the biggest contrarian play is Pulsechain. I very much became a contrarian investor once I started following a YouTuber called VP, No Nonsense Forex. And he always talks about contrarian plays. And then somebody's talking about it, making a lot of sense. I've really sunk my teeth into this idea of being contrarian. But what's an even more contrarian play than Pulsechain? It's the Atropa ecosystem within the Pulsechain. It's the contrarian of the contrarian. It's where nobody is looking. Nobody's looking at it. This is why it's such a contrarian play. There's something happening here. I'm continuing to show the evidence. I'm continuing to try and learn about it. There's an excitement. Go listen to that Spaces, man, 3 hours and 3 minutes. And there was like genuine excitement around this, the energy, the passion, the way that people are trying to understand everything. It's really exciting to be a part of. And something is going on here. And I want to keep digging until I figure it out. So what I'm seeing is if we play the game by our rules, we all win. We can never win. We can never, ever, 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 ever win by playing the game by their rules. I want to emphasize this. Their rules is the old world. The old world is where only people who know the rules and play by those rules can win. And those rules are they're systemic. I watch so many like crime, like true crime series, and the way that the law has also engulfed the truth in a way that benefits a portion of the society is disgusting. It's really disgusting. Richard Hart mentioned something about this as well the other day. I think it's disgusting. But that's exactly what this is. This is like a war. Like, where are you going to choose your freedom? We think that we have freedom in that world. We think we have freedom in this world, but we don't. We're just like mouses in this huge labyrinth, this elaborate labyrinth with all these different alleyways and all these different shows going on and all this entertainment and like movies, the same movies over and over again, porn, money, gambling, endless food, gluttony. We're all following this because that's the world that they've set up. That's the labyrinth that they've set up. And we're all just these mouses in this infinite labyrinth. And we think that we have freedom, but you're just running around in a labyrinth. You are not truly free. That's why something like Pulsechain, which is the freedom chain, freedom of speech, this is like against the old system. I covered this a few weeks ago with my Hex video as well. Like Hex completely damages, if not destroys, the financial system in its nature. And it's something that really dawned on me after watching the highest of stakes, that this is something, or actually with some conversation with friends, but this is something that changes and invalidates the whole financial industry. So the financial industry as it is being played by their rules. They're setting up cryptocurrencies within their rules. But what we're doing here is we're trying to break up that old system. It actually is breaking up. They're losing control, and they won't admit it. And because it's so pervasive, they'll never just let it go. So we, through our own actions and our own financial decisions, can determine our own rules and our own future. So again, their rules equals they win. Our rules equals we all win. And this is the thing that I'm seeing on Pulsechain and Atropa. It's not just, hey, I'm going to be here and I win and up yours to everybody else. That is not how I live my life. That is not how I want to live my life. I am trying to find something where everybody wins. And I believe this is the opportunity where everybody wins. Even the bug eaters, when the time is right, they can adopt into this system, into this way of cryptocurrency or blockchain evolution. They can also integrate in it and be a part of it. But it just means that their grip that they have now, they have to let go and become as equal as everybody else, because equality is the truth, where everybody is all the same. And with this system, with our new rules, we can be the truth. The truth always wins. The truth always wins. It's you can't defy nature. You can't defy the laws of nature. When it's time for an apple, when it's time for an apple tree to bear fruit, it will bear fruit under the right conditions. Everything in the world is exactly the same. And now I'm seeing that it's time to bear fruits for the world. We're going to live in a world of abundance. Listen to the Rand Nuna and Carl Chass video. It was fantastic. So again, thank you very much, everybody. Follow me on my socials, hit me up, comment in the comments below. And I'm just going to stop this, and I'm just going to quickly turn this. Oh, I'm going to quickly turn this off for the sake of my vanity. Oh, look at this. I've accidentally changed the background, but this is a pretty badass background. I'm going to end on this too. So, friends and family, this is an exciting opportunity that I see, and this is something that I want to continue to report on. I'm hitting things that I'm feeling like there's something here. The world is responding. I'm getting more views. I'm getting more excitement. I'm getting more questions. Zach has asked me to be in the Atropa spaces as a co-host. I would love to do that. Join those spaces every Thursday. Let's get this going. What we get out of the world is what we put into it. That's a thing. So where do you want to put your money? What do you want to win? Do you want to continue being a slave to the old system, or do you want to be part of something that is true DeFi? And this is true DeFi. We say that it's true DeFi, but the reason why it's not fully resonating with the ecosystem is because we're divided on what that message actually means. So I'm going to share this in a future video. I'm hopefully at this point going to try and share more videos on a daily basis. I'm going to try again, squeeze down to the 20, 30-minute mark, and just what I'm seeing for the day, and just updating on the day, and just creating a daily video, and really trying to keep everybody in tune with where things are going and provide more of that value. And again, hopefully this is the way that we win. So thank you very much, everybody. Let's do this together.